channeling is a process by which a human being connects with a higher energetic vibration being, such as a being of light, an angel, a spirit guide, um, to gain wisdom and guidance. And some channels just communicate with the being and leave it at that, and some share that with others through relayed channeling, which is where the being gives the information to the channel who passes it along, or trance channeling, in which the channel goes into trance and allows the being to speak directly. It's not the same as possession. I've been asked that question before. I channel a being of light called Shiva, and when I do trance channeling, Shiva's not like taking over my body. It's more like we're cohabitating. What is that word again? So my consciousness is still in effect. I can end the channeling at any time, but he is speaking through me. And sometimes trance channeling is more effective at getting the message across, because when I do relayed channeling, I'm hearing Shiva's words, but I'm the one speaking them. And so, it's did you ever play that old game Telephone when you were a kid, where you whispered something to the person next to you and then they whispered it and it went around the circle, and when it got back to you it had virtually no relation to what you'd actually said at the beginning? Sometimes relayed channeling is like that, because it is getting kind of it's getting relayed. It's not Shiva's words that are actually being spoken out loud. It's mine. It's my version of Shiva's words, and I do my best to be as exact as I can as to what he has said. But when I do trance channeling, it's him speaking, so it doesn't get relayed. It doesn't, the risk isn't there for me to misunderstand something he's said, or use a word that isn't what he intended. And so I'm going to do a short trance channeling for you. And I do keep these short when I do them on Facebook Live, because they're intended in general. They're not, the channelings that I'm doing on these Thursday Facebook Lives are not intended for any specific individual, at least not on my part. Shiva might have other ideas, but if he does, he's not telling me. And I also keep them short because when I do a channeling, whether it's trance or relayed, there's a shift in the energies. Shiva is a being of light. He has a very high energetic vibration, and that can be tiring for the human. It can feel really intense. It's not a bad thing. It's not a scary thing. It's just a different thing. But sometimes, especially after I do a trance channeling, I need to relax for a little bit to kind of ground and reset. So because of that, I keep things short. When I do a channeling for an individual client, I offer channelings up to an hour long, and I put things into place to make sure that I'm able to complete the channeling and have the time to rest and recover afterwards. Putting things into place a second ago reminded me as well. I've also been asked, how do I know I'm channeling a benevolent being and not like a demon or something that's trying to delude me? First of all, there's the energy. The energy feels very positive, very light. It's intense, but it's not intense in a scary way. It's just intense in that it's very strong. I also put protections into place. I'm a witch. I practice witchcraft, and part of that is casting a ritual protective circle. The room that I'm in right now, I've cast what I refer to as a perma-circle. I have put permanent protections, creating this room, this space, as sacred ground. And so, and I also do an energetic cleansing on my entire apartment once a week to clear out any negative or malevolent energies. I've been working with Shiva in this lifetime pretty much my entire life, and I've worked with him in previous lifetimes. I hear the things that he says, and I know that, yes, you know, a malevolent entity could be saying nice things to delude you, but Shiva doesn't just like stroke the ego. In fact, he very much avoids that, and he doesn't pull punches with what he says, but he says gentle things in a way that doesn't always come across as gentle. So he's not saying nice things to stroke the ego, and he's also not being cruel. And most importantly, I've done channelings for other people, so I get feedback from these people, and some of the people that I have done channelings for are extremely attuned to energy and extremely attuned to positive, negative, or benevolent, malevolent. And they would tell me if I were, you know, not channeling who I think I am. And I don't generally go through this whole explanation, but I did have this called into question just a couple of days ago, so I felt the need to maybe over-explain. And that's one of my flaws. I do tend to over-explain things sometimes. But the best way to show you what channeling with Shiva and me is like is for me to actually do it. So when I go, I'm going to do a trance channeling today. When I go into trance, it's a bit of a process. It only takes like a minute or less, but I do have to put myself into a trance state, which is similar to like self-hypnosis. So I am going to do that, and just bear with me while I do that, and then Shiva will speak when I am in trance and we're ready to start. Also, during a trance channeling, my eyes remain closed. So if anybody comments on this video, I won't be able to see the comment until afterwards, but I will respond afterward. And I asked Shiva if he would talk a little bit about self-doubt today. So that's hopefully what he's going to talk about. Greetings. I am called Shiva. It is pleasing to speak with you at this time. As you were told, I have been asked to address the concept and problem of self-doubt, which so many humans experience. It is a curiosity to me that so many humans doubt what they experience, doubt who they are and what they believe. And it is saddening that so many of you experience this situation. All beings are created as marvelous and wonderful. All beings carry certain qualities, certain skills and talents, which are unique to them. For each of you, each of us is unique. It is a human trait to call into question things which one does not understand. And at times, this calling into question is done in a way that causes pain and even harm. This happens because of fear. Doubt and fear are heavily intertwined. And humans tend to fear that which they do not understand. No one understands everything. No one understands everyone. And yet, due to the fear of what one does not understand, many times people lash out and cause pain and harm to others. This has become increasingly prevalent in your society of late. I speak of the harm and deaths that are being caused by those who seek to destroy what they do not understand. They say that it is out of hatred, but hatred too arises from fear. All of this has its root in fear. When you doubt yourself because of the actions and words of others, you are falling into your own fears, and you are allowing them to guide not only what you do, but who you are. I urge you to reach into yourself and find your light, your core, your true self. Know that this self, this true core of who you are, cannot be changed by anyone other than you. You fear being harmed because of who you are. Some of you hide your true self for your entire lifetime. While you must tend to your physical and mental health and safety, sometimes you hide needlessly. Spend time learning yourself, connecting with that core, with that light. Spend time forging shields against the words, the damaging beliefs of others. You know who you are. Perhaps you have lost touch with this knowledge, but it is there within you. You are supported and you are loved by others around you, both seen and unseen. Each of you has guides who are ready to work with you when you are ready to connect with them. Seek support in connecting with yourself. Reject the arguments and skepticism of others. You know inside what is true for you. Embrace this truth. I shall take my leave for now. Be well and be loved. Okay, I'm back. I was here, but when Shiva is speaking, it's kind of like my consciousness is here. I'm aware of what's going on. You know, I was listening to somebody drilling something outside my window, and I was hearing some of what Shiva was saying, but because of the energy shift and because I am in trance, I don't always remember it and I don't always process it. So I'm going to have to watch this video back to hear Shiva's message, because since I was the one who asked for the topic, I know that there's going to be stuff in there I need to hear. And I hope that for those of you who hear it, you'll